What's up guys, welcome to episode 2 of Search for the Best Nerf Dart. Today we're only featuring full-length darts. Now I know some of you are only allowed to use full-length darts at your wars, so I thought I'd do this testing to see what would work best out of a brass breech with a SCAR barrel. All of the darts in this video today were sent to me for free from nfstrike.com. So as a way to thank them for giving me all these darts to test, go check them out at the link in the video description. Now unfortunately, some of the darts just wouldn't work in the brass breech. There were 4 darts total which I'm not going to be testing because either the velocity of them was so low that I would never consider using them in a Nerf war, and some of them actually required multiple shots to leave the barrel entirely. The culprit darts are the Accu Fakes, the red foam men gun darts, the waffle tip darts and the Accu Strike darts. Those 4 will be disqualified for today due to very poor performance. That leaves us with 3 types of darts that we're testing today. We're testing the full length ACC Generation 3s. We tested the half length version of these last time. We're testing the ACC Generation 5, which are an FVJ dart, meaning they have a hard plasticky tip. And we're testing the Z tip darts, which I assume that's what they're called because they have a Z shaped pattern on the tip. For the blaster today, I'm using the same one as episode 1. That's a 16 kilogram brass barrel alpha kit long shot. I will have to single load all these full length darts today because the breech is designed for half length dart magazines. For the entire video, I'll have the SCAR barrel attached from BlasterTech, and it will be set to 1/4 twist. Let's get to the chronograph test. First up, I'm going to chronograph the Z-tip darts. I found that some of these were a lot tighter to get in than others, and that correlated with the shots that were low velocity, like the 160-ish shots. But if you weed those darts out, these are hitting above 250. Next up, we've got the ACC version 5 FVJ darts. These seem to have a little more consistent foam diameter compared to the Z-tip darts. I didn't have any that performed below 200 FPS. Originally I was going to include the men gun darts, but then when I went to chrony them I found out that they did not fire reliably.
I think I have to scrap the men gun as well.
And finally, I'm chronying the ACC Generation 3s. These had a much lower velocity than the other 2 darts. All of the shots were below 200 FPS, although they were fairly consistent. Time for the results of the chronograph test. In last place we have the ACC Gen 3s. They performed abysmally, 169 FPS average, although that is quite a bit higher than the darts that I did not show in the video. The ones that I disqualified were like below 100 FPS. The ACC FVJs performed the highest in terms of average FPS, although the Z-tips did have some shots that were way higher than the ACCs. The Z-tips also had some tips which were bent off to one side, which I assume would affect the FPS numbers, create drag in the brass. Some of the foam seemed to also be thicker than others, so if you applied some kind of quality control to the darts you buy, the Z-tips would actually perform higher in average FPS than the ACCs. Let's get to the accuracy test. First up, I'll be testing the accuracy of the Z-tips. It ended up taking another 9 shots to knock down this last can. I had to get up and pick up some of the darts because I only had 10 supplied by NF Strike. In terms of groupings, I found that sometimes it'd go about an inch left or right of the can. Other than that, I'd say these are very accurate for a full-length dart. They actually beat the half-length ACCs that we tested in the first episode. And now for the ACC Generation 3s, remembering these were a much slower dart on the chronograph test.
Down in front.
Now it ended up taking another 7 shots to knock down this last can, so I've just decided to cut that part out. It's a little boring to watch. Fun fact though, that is only 1 more dart than the half-length ACCs took.
Too low. Some of these have an easier fit than others, so the foam is a bit inconsistent. And I just fished way up and hit the ceiling. I think it was going straight for the can too, and then just decided it's going to go up.
Okay, so at the time I thought the dart missed the can, hit something behind it, bounced back and hit the can from behind. Turns out it actually hit the can and should have been counted as a hit. Anyway, I kept shooting at the same can. It ended up taking me another 9 shots to hit it again. And then after another 6 shots at the middle can, I ended up calling it quits after reaching 20 darts fired total. The FEJs were fishtailing all over the place and wasting my time essentially. In terms of accuracy, at least with a quarter twist in the BlasterTech SCAR barrel, the ACC FEJs were the absolute worst. They did not finish. I took 20 shots and still hadn't knocked down the last can. There was fishtailing, which none of the other darts exhibited any fishtailing. The FEJs were just horrible. The ACC Gen 3s with the soft rubbery tip, they actually scored 17 shots to knock down all 3 cans. That's only 1 shot more than their half-length brethren. I'd have to say that's pretty good. There were no fishtails from the ACC Gen 3s. However, the X-axis was off a lot more than the Z-tips were. And that brings me to the winner of the accuracy test, which are the Z-tip darts. They only took 12 shots to knock down all 3 cans. The worst shots were only off by about an inch. So for a full-length dart, I'd have to say the Z-tips have the best accuracy out of these 3. Finally, I'm just going to do the danger level test. Worst case scenario, shooting someone accidentally point blank with one of these darts. Because these are full length darts, the extra foam will probably stop the dart from going all the way through the box. However, there should be a pretty noticeable difference between the hard tip FEJ and the Generation 3 and Z tips. In summary, out of the 3 darts that actually worked okay out of my blaster, the FEJs had the highest average velocity. However, the Z tips overtook them when you removed the bad quality darts from the batch. In terms of accuracy, the Z tips also won the accuracy, with having only taken 12 darts to knock down all 3 cans. And in terms of damage, the FEJ penetrated the box and embedded itself halfway through. The Z-tips and ACC Gen 3s just glanced off the box. So with FEJs having such terrible accuracy, plus look how far they went into that box, that would really hurt to be hit by. I just see no reason for FEJs to exist. And with my setup, 1730 seconds brass, BlasterTech SCAR set to 1/4 turn, the Z-tips won the day. If you've enjoyed this video, if you found it helpful, please leave a like or comment down below, and thank you for watching.